Hey guys, how's it going? Eric Norris here. Today we're going to talk about how to get out of the rat race and have that financial freedom, baby. Oh, I'm telling you, it's the greatest thing. First things first, this is where I'd start off. Find a good paying job. Something where you're making some good money that you can start packing money away and start saving and saving. So you want to be living below your means. This is like the big financial freedom goal to get ahead early. Just think about that. Always living below your means, not having a high overhead, having it as low as possible. So get a good paying job. That's the first thing. Second thing is, if you're renting, find a place where you can get some extremely cheap rent. Something that I did was between 2002 and 2010, for 8 years, I had this little guest house that I lived at, and I searched and searched just to find this thing, and I found it, and I was only paying $590 a month for the longest time. I think they eventually raised it to $650, not much more. So think about that. If you're making like $50K a year, and you're only paying $600 a month for rent, think about how much money you could be saving and stacking away. You know, all of my friends around me were sitting there paying at least $1,000 a month. So I was getting ahead right then and there, just in that situation alone. So good paying job, find something where you're living below your means, having low overhead, low rent. Thirdly, if you have a car payment, this is controversial because this is going to be hard for most people to do, but it will get you ahead tremendously. If you got a car payment, you're paying $300, $400, $250, whatever it is, dollars a month. That is making it that much harder for you to start stacking and saving all that money. So what you're going to want to do is, I know this is crazy, but literally sell it. So you pay off that car loan, live below your means for a while, buy a used vehicle that's, a few years older, and that way you can get ahead. This is exactly what I did. My very first car purchase I ever made, I found this car, I was searching, and I found a killer deal. It was a 1977 Dodge Monaco, basically kind of like a poor man's version of a Cadillac, but it was in really pristine condition. And this was, apparently it was a showroom car at some point. So it was in extremely good condition, and the guy was only asking $2,500. So I had it in my mind. I'm like, I'm going to pay $2,000 for this thing. And it was my first car deal. And that's what I did. I paid $2,000 for that. That car served me extremely well. I think I drove it for at least 4 years. Just imagine paying $2,000 cash for a car and not having a car payment all that time. So I was getting ahead that way too with having no car payments. I highly recommend. Fourthly, another thing, if you have any student debt, any outstanding loans, got to pay that stuff off. Get it knocked out, get it out of the way so you can get ahead. And when I talk about getting ahead, I mean good paying job, you're making good money, you're able to put money away because your overhead is low, you don't have high payments on anything. Another thing I do is I own one credit card. I put everything on that credit card so I know exactly how much money I'm spending every single month. And what's great about that too is one thing I do too is, this is very important, paying it off every single month. That needs to be done, because if you don't, your credit score is going to go down. So if you're paying it off every single month, you're building your credit right then and there, and you want to have good credit for the future because you're saving this money, stacking it away. Financial freedom, just remember, getting out of the rat race, this is the whole point. It might seem a little painful in the beginning for a while, but you're doing this for the long-term gain, and it's going to benefit you tremendously in the end. So paying off your credit card every single month, building that credit score so you have a really good high credit score, so when you go apply for a loan, you can get the lowest interest rate possible, because the whole idea is you want to have a low monthly payment, and that will set you up for getting into real estate in the sense of rental properties. So basically, going from the beginning, first things first, finding a good job where you're making maybe at least $50K a year, something to that degree. And you're able to save money every month. Number two, rent somewhere where it's very inexpensive, where maybe your rent is only like $600 a month if you can find that. Maybe 700, depending on where you are. You might find something for $200 in friggin' Illinois or somewhere. I don't know. But in LA, what I was paying, $600 was actually extremely low when everyone around me, like I said, was paying over $1,000 easily. So good paying job. I got to instill this over and over again. Have good cash flow coming in. Find a good place to rent that's very inexpensive. You can keep your cost basis as low as possible. It's just like business. You want to have margin. Your margin for you is how much money can you stack away every single month, because you want to build that nest egg. Because also what you're doing is you're creating this peace of mind. Every time the more money you have stacked in the bank, the more peace of mind it gives you, the more financial freedom, the more it gives you the ability to eventually go, you know what? I don't want to work for the man anymore. I'm going to do my own thing. It's a great safety net. So, good paying job, low rent, paying off all your debts. If you have car payments, make sure that you sell that car. I know it sounds crazy, but I highly recommend it. Everyone's in a different situation. If, let's say, you own your own business and you're leasing a car, I get it. In those situations, you're financing a car, you can do tax write-offs and things like that. But in the beginning, if you don't own a business and all that, I highly recommend you sell that car, live below your means for a little while so you can get ahead, so you can have that financial freedom, baby. I'm telling you. So once you do all these steps, basically what your end goal is, you want to eventually get into real estate. The reason why I recommend real estate, why so many other people recommend real estate over everything else, is simply because it's the best asset class in the world, especially in the United States. I've invested in stocks, bonds, silver, gold, crypto, everything. I haven't done NFTs yet, but basically every major asset class in the world, all the standard ones that you can think of. The reason why real estate is so beneficial is because you're only putting a small portion down, a small down payment, and you control 100% of that asset. No other place can you do that. Every other place, you have to put 100% down of your own money, and then it has a chance of going down. Real estate has a chance of going down too, but if you're buying rental properties, that's going to make you get ahead because you're still getting cash flow every month. You ride the wave. If the market goes down, you just keep holding that property until it goes back up. And the whole idea is you hold for the long term, So what you're doing is you're living below your means, you're stacking this money away, you're building your credit score so you can get into real estate. You want to keep your credit score as high as possible so you can get that low interest rate. And then at that point, if you buy rental properties, you're going to be getting cash flow every single month. And what that's going to do is that's going to help you and your family for the future. So if, let's say, you get sick or you get hurt or someone in your family, your spouse gets hurt or something, you still have cash flow from the rental properties coming in every month. I learned this because that's what my parents did. My dad was an entrepreneur. He started his own company and he was making money with his business, but he was also owned rental properties. So that was an additional income that was coming up. It was just that safety net, that peace of mind. And that could also be your retirement too. There's so many benefits to real estate, and I'll just go over them really quickly. Cash flow, appreciation, tax benefits, debt payment. Your tenants are paying off the mortgage every single month, which is building equity in your property every single month. And there's other ways you can transfer that without having to pay capital gains tax. You can do 1031 exchange, and there's all these other different methods. Cash out refi. The beautiful thing about a cash out refinance is when you do that, you don't have to pay any taxes when you get those gains. It's a big one. And then you take that money and you go buy the next one. The more properties you have, the more insulated you are, the more wealth that you're building. So anyway, I hope this message served you well. I hope this gives you guys a better understanding of how you can get ahead, get out of the rat race, and have that financial freedom. If you guys have any questions, feel free and leave a comment below and hit me up. And I hope this message has served you well. And please like, please subscribe. I'm trying to build this channel. Until next time, guys, have a great day. Thank you so much.